Today, we'll be creating this textured beach scene with sand, modelling paste and acrylic paint. I think this painting would look great in any lounge room, so let's get into it. For this project, we'll be using a 60 by 90 centimetre canvas, some modelling paste, a large number 10 palette knife, a 50mm wide artist Taklon and some acrylic gloss medium. For paint, we'll be using some titanium white, Chinese white, yellow ochre, yellow pink, phthalo blue and black, and these are all in the Satin Series acrylic range. We'll also be using a tear-off paper palette, some craft glue and we'll need some sand. The first step is to draw up the scene. It's quite easy, just make sure the three waves are equally spaced apart. If you like, you can print out this reference sheet that can be found on our website. We can then draw up the grid and lay the waves in with a charcoal pencil. Charcoal is good as it's easier to remove from canvas than graphite. Just a damp sponge is enough. Once the charcoal marks are removed, we can apply the waves with modelling paste. The lowest wave is the most shallow and just needs a thin layer of modelling paste. Take the paste out to the front of the second wave and thin it out. While you're here, take a look around the Create section on our site and uncover a whole heap of free stuff, from free projects, handy tips and tricks, and techniques to keep you busy. The second wave is more substantial. I use the large palette knife and make sure the paste is concentrated up to the edge line of the wave. If you use light pressure on the tip of the palette knife, the paste will form a concave shape. From here, you can drag the paste back and smooth it out to the third wave. The third wave is the largest, so even more paste is applied to the edge than the second wave. This can be handled the same way as the second wave, and once the edge of the third wave is in, we can smooth the paste out to the top of the canvas. To create texture on the surface, to suggest ripples, we lightly drag a paintbrush back and forth across the paste. Once we are happy with the effect, we have to give it some time for the modelling paste to become touch dry. Once it's touch dry, we mix some PVA glue with water. Approximately 1 part water to 1 part PVA glue is a good mix so it flows nicely and a thin coat can be created. We then sprinkle some sand over the glue and let this dry. Well, this has been left overnight and the modelling paste, although not cured, it has dried with a thick skin and it'll be fine to accept paint. So let's lift her up. All that sand should fall off, all the waste sand. And we can add some paint. First we mix up a sand colour from titanium white, yellow ochre and a touch of yellow pink Satin Series acrylic paint. We give this a rough mix and apply it over the sand using the 50mm wide artist Taklon brush. Once the sand is covered, we take the colour into the first wave. We will be covering this with paint in a later stage, but the water is very shallow here, so the colour of the sand would be visible. Next we mix some titanium white and black into the beige mix that we used for the sand to create a warm grey and paint this into the second and third wave. create a rich blue for the ocean, we paint phthalo blue mixed with gloss medium into the top of the canvas. Mix more medium into the mix as we move down the canvas toward the wave until it blends out to nothing. Mixed with a little titanium white over the layer of phthalo blue. We can then add some Chinese white to the front of the waves and blend this out into the blue behind the waves. Chinese white is more translucent than titanium white, so the underlying colour can be seen to an extent. To give the blue of the ocean more depth, we then apply titanium white onto the front of the waves and blend this out. To create highlights on the ripples, the flat part of the brush can be used to create lines behind the waves. Another technique is to lightly drag a charged brush over the surface of the painting. And with that, our textured beach scene is complete and ready to hang and brighten up any room. Thanks for watching. We hope you've picked up some techniques to help you on your art journey. Otherwise, have fun creating and we'll see you in the next one.